As the November 8th governorship election in Anambra State continues to gather momentum, candidates are already emerging as standard bearers of various parties, having concluded with the party primaries. Despite cracks in the walls of the Labour Party, its National Executive Committee rose from its meeting with a resolve to back its National Working Committee as it insists that the party leadership has no vacancy. Ahead of the 2027 general elections, political parties and interest groups continue to consult and strategize for impact. We have these and more on our lineup. I'm Fisai Ogunfuyi. This is Political Update. Welcome. Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu has emerged as the candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC in the just concluded party primary election held in Anambra State for the November 8th governorship election.
I hereby declare Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu, who has scored a total number of 1,455 votes, the winner of this particular primary.
The keenly contested APC primary election was held at Women Development Center in Awka, the Anambra State capital. This exercise recorded 1,630 delegates from the 21 local government areas of the state. 1,582 delegates were accredited and 1,582 votes cast, with 26 votes invalid. In all, Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu, who pulled a total of 1,455 votes, emerged the APC governorship candidate.
Today, you are giving me your mandate to back on that task, but I cannot do it without you. That with God on our side, with all the support and cooperation of my co-aspirants, we shall deliver Anambra to the APC.
With this, Prince Ukachukwu Nicholas asked that APC will put all machineries in motion to work as a team to clinch the governorship seats come November 8, 2025 in Anambra State.
Meanwhile, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has emerged candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, for the November 8th governorship election in the state. Ndem Kalu reports that this was during the party's primary election in Awka.
The primary election began with the accreditation of about 4,000 delegates from the 326 wards and the 21 local government areas of the state. After casting the ballot, delegates were also put to voice votes to confirm their support for their candidate, where Governor Soludo was announced the sole candidate for ABGA with 3,168 votes out of 3,172 votes cast.
I, Chief Uche Nwebo, the Chief Returning Officer for this governorship primary election, hereby declare Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, as the governorship candidate of ABGA in the November 8, 2025 Anambra State governorship election. I so declare.
The governor appreciated all party stakeholders for their support, promising to continue to develop the state.
In humility, I want to say that I am humbled by this unprecedented historic display of solidarity, support, overwhelming mandate given to me again by our party, beloved party, again to be able to fly its flag. And I want to say with humility, I accept the nomination.
The governor was later presented with certificate of return, where he announced that his deputy will still contest with him for a second term.
Former Managing Director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, Chief George Moghalu, has emerged governorship candidate of the Labour Party for the Anambra State governorship election slated for November 8 during the party's primary in Awka.
Moghalu polled a total of 573 votes to defeat his absentee rival John Nwosu, who garnered 19 votes and was declared winner by the chairman and returning officer LP Primary Election Committee, Benedict Itanabene, who commended the peaceful process and charged delegates to go back to their wards to work for the party's victory come November 8.
George Moghalu is hereby declared winner and is returned elected as the party's candidate flag bearer for the November 8, 2025 governorship election.
The primary witnessed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and other observers had 601 accredited delegates, 592 valid votes cast, and 5 invalid votes. Moghalu, in his acceptance speech, assured competence and capacity to win the November 8 governorship election, given his antecedents, urging members to embrace peace and unity to ensure victory for the party in the forthcoming election.
I want to thank each and every one of you. I reaffirm my pledge and my commitment that I will not let you down.
Moving on now, the National Executive Committee meeting of Labour Party seems satisfied with the National Working Committee as it has insisted that there's no vacancy in the party leadership. The meeting, which reviewed the Supreme Court judgment on the party leadership, commended the court for affirming the authority of the party organs.
The Supreme Court judgment was expected to lay to rest the leadership crisis rocking the party, but various groups are holding on to their position and interpreting the judgment to suit their case. This NEC meeting is giving backing to the Julius Abure-led NWC, insisting that the court judgment only affirmed the supremacy of the party and never sacked the national chairman, Julius Abure. It described as illegal the activities of the National Caretaker Committee, as the party constitution has no such provision, more so that it was constituted by those who have no authority over the party.
Leadership will not cede grounds to illegitimate, unconstitutional actors to take over the leadership of this party.
The NEC also resolved to take disciplinary action against Abia State Governor Alex Otti and the former presidential candidate of the party, Peter Obi, should they continue to act against the NWC.
Next in session hereby usurp its power to NWC to discipline, to take appropriate disciplinary action on Governor Peter Alex Otti if he went ahead to conduct that illegal meeting of Wednesday.
Some state chairmen, secretaries, and national officers attended the NEC meeting.
Joining us now via Zoom from Benin is a member of the Labour NLC Transition Committee, Tony Akeni. You just heard that, from the chairman of the Labour Party talking about Julius Abure. Of course, we'll go to the interpretation of the Supreme Court judgment just now. But you heard that. They are even threatening disciplinary action against Governor Alex Otti and former presidential candidate of the party. What is the position of your own group? What's your position of your own committee in terms, as far as this is concerned? Last week, we had some of you being confident and happy about the Supreme Court verdict, interpreting it as if the chairman has now been excused or sacked. But today, this other faction is saying that the status quo remains because it's an internal party affair, still quoting part of that verdict.
Thank you for having me back on board on these issues. First of all, let me assure you that the drama you are seeing from Julius Abure's side is nothing but the swan song. You know, when the swan, these days are numbered, there is this internal inspiration to sing, to inspire its brood. That is exactly what the Aburi group is doing. Before now, they celebrated the High Court judgment that stepped out of bound to declare that Aburi was recognized as a national chairman of the party. They celebrated the appeal court when the appeal court also stepped out of bound to declare that Aburi and his team remain the recognized leadership of the party. Now the apex court in the land pronounced very clearly, without equivocation, that whatever pronouncement had been made before the matter came before the Supreme Court, they were null and void because recognizing Aburi was outside the jurisdiction of the two lower courts. And that the constitution of the leadership of the Labour Party or any political party in Nigeria was an internal affair. You are aware that the tenure of Aburi, not even as a substantive national chairman, but as acting since 2022, expired. It expired in June of 2024. And then he did all he could do to manipulate the system, manipulate the leadership, including elected officials, including the highest constitutional officer of the party, the governor of Abuja State, to do a kangaroo convention in Nnewi. Now, INEC, in its wisdom, in its thorough understanding of the rules of the game, rejected that convention because it did not comply with the requirements for a proper convention. What happened? He actually manipulated for his tenure to be extended. And then in the magnanimity and attitude for peace in Asaba, our presidential candidate in 2023 and those who attended that meeting said, okay, you have 1 year to run around of. Why they appeal to the leadership and the membership of the party.
But what Aburi is saying is that there's no local standing for them to even say that. Since even the transition committee has constituted, the caretaker committee has constituted, that some of them are not even members of the party in the first place, that they are the stakeholders. They are the ones to, even if there is any restructuring or any change to be made, they are supposed to superintend over the process, if there be. But they are...
What is trying to convince Nigerians to accept is that when a tenant, his tenancy has expired, because he is being the tenant, he has the right to remain and to elect or to admit the new tenants for a landlord. A party does not belong to Aburi. It's not a family possession. The party has a constitution. The party has a tenure for every person that is elected. His tenure expired. He was given several opportunities to constitute a convention, an all-inclusive, transparent, free and fair convention, starting with state congresses that will lead to an all-inclusive national convention. He didn't do it. The period he was given, the period accepted, the period approved by the Constitution expired. So what he is saying that he could stay there forever and continue to wear the garment of a stakeholder. No, we have constitutionally recognized NEC and they are all living. Aburi may have buried them in his imagination. He may have exterminated those he thought that he could exterminate, but that is not the case. They are existing. And is it saying that the NLC, which has the constitutional recognition as the promoter of the political party, were they in the convention and their authority as trustees in the party, their authority as members of NEC, who gave Aburi the right to terminate it?
Okay. Let me ask you a question myself. As against the rhetorics, as against the rhetorical question you just asked, let me ask you mine. Who is running the party at the moment? For instance, enlighten me. The report we just got from Anambra State concerning your own primary elections. Who conducted that one?
That was a process that was put in place during the period of his extended and seemingly inexhaustible illegality before the Supreme Court judgment came up. And the Labour Party, because we are moderate, we are not desperate, and we needed peace to reign, we allowed him to do whatever, because it would have been easy for us to storm all of those events and disrupt them. But because we knew that he was running a vehicle that would crash, a vehicle that was not going to end in any destination, we had to allow that. So the fact that we allowed him to do what he was doing with the illegal brood and collaborators that he could lay his hands on does not mean that they have legitimacy.
So you allowed some illegality. If, according to you now, you also condoned some illegality.
In the period of his illegality. Now,
all right, by self-admission now, it seems as if also you're part of the party or the process, you also condoned some illegality as well. Allowing this to stay on perpetually, even before now. That's if we are to go by, these accounts you have, given.
So when the matter is in court, if you are a law-abiding citizen, it's one of the requirements of a law-abiding citizen. When the matter is in court, you don't help the court, you don't help yourself. So the fact that we allowed it is just emblematic of our character as disciplined, peace-loving people.
Okay, time is not. All right, time is not really our friend on the program, but you were warned by the Aburi leadership that the Wednesday program or meeting should not go ahead. Is it going ahead?
It is going ahead in full swing, having the backing of the Supreme Court judgment. What else could stop it? Those people are just celebrating the end of their existence, the end of anything that they have to do with Labour Party. So ours is ongoing as we speak, it's in full swing. The media are fully represented. Those in the legal sector, they are fully represented. And the authentic NEC members, comprising NLC representatives, TUC representatives, recognized by the law as the bona fide leadership of the Labour Party, they are all involved. Every other law-respecting person, elected and appointed, they are also there.
All right, we'll see how things play out. I have to thank you because we still have to go to some other stories. Many thanks, Tony Akeni, as usual, for coming. We'll also try to get the Aburi faction in to tell us their own side of the story so that we stay on the right side of these events and especially as it unfolds. We hope you guys get your acts together because this is of course, we're looking forward to your party's showings in all these off-cycle elections before we go to the big one in 2027. Many thanks to you, Tony Akeni, joining in from Benin.
Every step of the way.
All right. Now, South Zonal Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, George Turner, has clarified that the proposed April 12, 2025 Solidarity Rally in Bayelsa State is an opportunity to thank President Bola Tinubu for appointing several Bayelsa natives into key government roles. Turner, at a media briefing in Abuja, disclosed that the gathering is being hosted by a group called New Associates and is meant to launch the Bayelsa State chapter of the group in support of President Tinubu and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for putting the country on the right trajectory.
Particularly in appointing our sons and daughters into positions of trust. Of course, very recently the head of service was appointed. And now a number of these appointments are facilitated by a friend of Bayelsa and a friend of the job people, which is Minister Nyesom Wike. So while thanking Mr. President, we also say thank you, Wike, for recommending and trusting that this class of persons can contribute in helping Mr. President deliver on his mandate.
Some civil society organizations in Nigeria are re-examining the recent recall procedure on Senator representing Kogi Central Natasha Akpoti, which they described as a mere charade and an aberration of Section 69 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The Transition Monitoring Group at a media briefing in Abuja commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for upholding constitutionalism and due process.
Briefing newsmen on the issue in the Red Chamber involving the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, that led to the initiation of the recall, Chairman Transition Monitoring Group Awal Musa Rafsanjani says, for democracy to thrive, all parties must be given fair hearing. The chairman commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for standing by the Constitution.
TMG is calling on all the stakeholders to treat issues based on rule of law, based on ethics and morality, because some people are trying to truncate this hard-earned democracy. And any attempt to draw us back would be a huge betrayal.
The TMG therefore advised for further investigations to verify and authenticate the voter identification number of electorates through the beavers, and anyone found wanting among the petitioners should face justice to serve as deterrent to others.
The Progressive Governors Forum has reaffirmed the party's unity and readiness to secure another victory in the forthcoming general elections. Led by the forum's chairman, Governor Hope Uzodimma, the governors made this known during a courtesy visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari in Kaduna.
The Progressive Governors Forum of the All Progressive Congress APC, led by its chairman, arrived at the Nigerian Air Force Base in Kaduna. They are here in Kaduna State to pay a courtesy visit to their leader, the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. Upon arrival at his residence, the governors exchanged warm handshakes with the former president, expressing joy for seeing him in good health.
He's well pleased with our party and all of us as also his children. He's well pleased with us and is happy that we visited him. And even though he expressed surprise for the visit, but I think it is on our part a very good initiative that we should touch base with our father in politics. And we are happy that we came too. And the members of our forum are indeed very grateful. And grateful to Almighty God because we met him in good health.
Not only Progressive Governors Forum, many Nigerians have come here before us. And we can say that we have been extremely happy with the way he has been advising people, being supportive to our own party and to our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The governors commended the former president for his continued support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC.
And finally, North Central Renaissance Movement has continued to deepen consultations and lobbies ahead of the presidential slot come 2027. The group led by Professor So Ngabu met with the former National Security Advisor Aliyu Gusau, Senator John Damboyi, and the monarch of Abaji, Musa Baba Yunusa. The North Central Renaissance Movement said the zone has not been on the nation's top seats since the return of democracy. The movement appealed to all political parties to concede tickets to the zone for equity, transparency, and justice. That concludes political updates. Today we'll be back again on Friday for another topic, but on politics and governance. My name is Fisai Ogunfi, thanking you for staying tuned, wishing you the best for the week, and urging you to stay locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest and finest, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.